Tutti frutti, oh Rudy, tutti frutti, woo, tutti frutti, oh Rudy, tutti frutti, oh Rudy, tutti frutti, oh Rudy, oh wop baba loo baba lop bam boom. Shut up. Oh God. Last week I did a video, of course, when DeMarcus Cousins was injured in that workout in Las Vegas, and unfortunately, it was reported that he suffered a second Achilles tendon rupture, I think on the same leg, and he'll be out for the 2019-20 NBA season. And this was his third major injury, I believe, in less than a year and a half. And in that video, I brought up a couple of candidates to replace him. I think the Lakers would consider, and one of them is journeyman and former All-Star Dwight Howard. And that came to be the Lakers are interested in his services. And many Laker fans, you know, knowing his past tenure with the organization and other situations and other issues, do not want Dwight Howard to be part of the organization. They don't want his services. Now, on the surface, I mean, you would think that Dwight Howard would be an asset. I mean, we're not asking for a guy to be putting up 20 and 12 or 15, or whatever. That's not what they're looking for. Looking for a guy that can give you 15 and maybe 14, 15 and 8. And Dwight Howard at this stage of his career probably could consistently give you 10 and 10 or 10 and, depending on how many minutes he plays. If it's 20 minutes per night, then maybe he can give you uh, maybe consistently 9 and 9 or something like that. He can still give you some quality production, especially when it comes to defense and rebounding and the occasional block shot. Um, of course, he's not the force he once was. Injuries and age have taken a toll on this once athletic specimen, a guy that was one time capable of giving you in his sleep 22 points and 14 rebounds a night. But he never worked on other aspects of his game. Apparently, he never took the game seriously. And unfortunately, also, the game itself has, left him, has evolved beyond past his skill set. Dwight Howard would have been a monster asset if this was 1999. But this is 2019. This is a league that values guys that give you. This is a league that values guys more like Nikola Jokic and Marc Gasol than perhaps an Andrew Bynum or Dwight Howard, who are two former disappointments when it comes to Lakers. Um, Now, from a production standpoint, you would think it makes sense. My issue with Dwight Howard and many others is the mental aspect of it. I just don't think that I don't know. He gives you, like right now, he's giving you uh, mea culpas as far as, well, I've learned my lesson. I now get it. Please give me an opportunity. I mean, his mea culpas sound convincing, but is he still the same old Dwight Howard? He claims the ego is gone. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I just don't know whether personality wise he would get along with LeBron James. Now, Dwight Howard at one point in time was a huge egomaniac. Okay, the Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard. I'll still never forget what he did to that Magic organization. You know what I'm saying? He basically had them pretty much cave into every one of his egoistic demands only to ultimately lead the organization. Firing the head coach, if I remember correctly, all these different things, and he still left. I still think when you've been an egomaniac like that, you think it's all about you, surrounded by sycophants that make you think that you're the next Eddie Murphy when you're not funny, your impressions suck. I remember all that shit about him. And to now be on a team, an organization that is run by a player that has more control and influence than any other player in history, I just don't know whether Dwight Howard fits on that team, chemistry, personality wise. That's one of my biggest uh, things about him. Now, maybe he can prove people wrong. Maybe he can prove all of us wrong. Maybe he has, learned how to be more serious in this league, what it takes to be successful. I don't know. I don't think so, but I look at the track history. I look at the history where every organization he's gone to, he's caused disruption and confusion. And ultimately, teams have cheered his departure. The teams have been worse off, at least immediately after his departure, than to when he joined there. I remember reading an article when he was with the Atlanta Hawks, and the Hawks organization, when they found out that he had been traded, I think it was to the Wizards, the players cheered in unison. So what does that tell you about how he deals with teammates? That matters when it comes to a championship run. Any little distraction can be the difference between hoisting up, saying the Bill Russell trophy in the finals or being ousted in the second round of playoffs. All it takes is a little distractions on the court to be the difference between that. And there's a lot of pressure on the Lakers to be successful this year. And I'm a little bit skeptical of Dwight Howard when it comes to dealing with pressure. Okay, when Dwight Howard joined the Lakers organization, the Lakers were still in that afterglow of that championship in 2010. It wasn't too long after that when I think Dwight Howard joined. I can't remember exactly what season, 2000, maybe 12, 13 or 11, 12. Somewhere in that time frame is when Dwight Howard joined the Lakers. So it wasn't too long after that championship afterglow. There wasn't as much pressure to win then as there is now because it hadn't been so long. But even then, Dwight Howard, what was it, one season? He couldn't handle playing with Kobe Bryant. He couldn't handle playing in that championship atmosphere. He couldn't handle playing in that type of environment where people expect the best out of you. People expect 110% every night on the court. He floundered in that situation. Now you're in a situation you're playing with, I'm just sorry, you're playing with LeBron James, who, be it his fault or not, the media will blame you 110% of the time when the team loses. When they win, it's LeBron James. It's credit to him. When they lose, it's your fault. And I can see no bigger person for the media to point their finger at than Dwight Howard. Can he handle being in that situation? Okay, we all remember hearing about and reading about how Kevin Love had to see a therapist. And it wasn't necessarily LeBron's fault. It's just the pressures that come along with that. Is Dwight Howard built to deal with that type of situation? That's what the big question is. You know what I'm saying? Can he deal with that? So, having said all of that, you know, I guess I'm gonna ask you guys: do you think that Dwight Howard deserves a chance with the Lakers? Um, I'm like of the opinion. I'm not a real big Laker fan anyway, so it doesn't really make me any never mind if they sign him, if they do sign him or don't sign him. It'd be an interesting part of the saga. It'd be interesting to see how he would fit with the Lakers. If the majority opinion is correct and he doesn't fit, or if maybe the few people who support him, maybe they're right. Maybe Dwight Howard can be a fit this time. I don't know. Um, Ultimately, it's kind of sad what has happened to his career. I'm talking about Dwight Howard, because this is a guy that was supposed to be, and is, as much of a journeyman he's become over the past several years. He is still a Hall of Fame bound player. I mean, you still look at the career numbers. There's something like 17 and 13. Okay. He's one of the greatest rebounders of his era. Um, he's a former, what? How many times he won an award? 4 times? 3 times Defensive Player of the Year? I can't remember how many times he won it, but he won it a lot. Um, he at one point, he was, I'd say, from 2007 or 8 to 2013 ish, I guess, he was the best center in the NBA, bar none. I know Shaq doesn't like the guy. He used to say it was Andrew Bynum. And Bynum had a case. Andrew Bynum did have a case for being the best center in the NBA, but the problem with Andrew Bynum at that time was that he just had injury issues to me, and then sometimes Bynum could be a little bit more inconsistent than Dwight Howard. So that's my takes on it. Y'all tell me what y'all guys